Are you gonna hit the music?
You're good to go, man. We have no music.
All right. Are you seeing the light at the end of the tunnel? I am seeing great signs for a massive crypto run, and it is coming. Also, today, let's talk about the war on crypto. Right now, it is a war of words, but that is how often every war starts. Let's call out the war of words for what it is, and we will do that in today's show. Now, thankfully, the war by Russia against Ukraine is not going well at all for the Russians. Allies have stepped up more than I think Russia's leader expected, as well as everything is taking twice as long and costing Russia 10 times as much. This is very good for Ukraine, and it's very good for the bigger concern, which is China watching what's happening and hopefully deciding against following next with its expansion objectives. Now, why does that all matter? Well, it does affect crypto, and crypto specifically is exactly what we're all here for. And this next leg of the bull run is the next stage we are looking for, and we're waiting for it to set up nicely for high liquidity, and us to be able to pull out high liquidity, setting up for the following crypto winter. We also have some crypto news we want to get into today. Welcome to the Crypto Rain channel. I'm your host, Jay Rain, and if you like money in crypto and you're looking for a real investor's take on the crypto market, join the Rainmaker family by liking this video, subscribing with that all notifications bell enabled. I'm not a financial advisor. I am a crypto investor myself, sharing with you how I think about the crypto market and specific cryptos I like. Note, I do own or plan to own most of what I talk about on this channel because I simply don't talk about projects that I don't believe in. Special thanks to our Patreon members. We do have a private Discord that our Patreon members get access to. There's a link below it to our Patreon if that is of interest to you. All right, make it rain on that like button and strap in for the show. Let's welcome our producer, D Money, joining me. Thank you so much, D.
Hey, what up, Jay? How's it going today, man? Happy
Fantastic.
Monday. Yeah, what's up to everybody? Yeah, Bearish Bull, what's going on, man? What up, Jay and D? He says. Chris Ashby's here as usual. Dougie Collinson. Yeah, nice pump today. I'm excited about a new week. It's nice that that the war doesn't seem to be going well for Russia, right? Like, I think that everybody's pretty nervous about what that could mean. But if this ends up being like a shorter conflict, I think it's going to be good for everybody, good for the world, and on a selfish note, good for crypto, right?
Yeah. Like, our heart goes out to the Ukrainian people. I think Russia did not expect the tenacity of the Ukrainians, and congratulations to them, right? Like, can you imagine your home getting invaded? And Russia, I think, thought that they would lay down. I think they underestimated the Ukrainians, and the Ukrainians' spirit of freedom. They lived under the USSR many, many years ago, and I think they wanted nothing to do with that again. So congratulations to them. It cost Russia like $1 billion a day to keep this war up, and a war of attrition. The longer this goes on, the more likely Russia is just going to give up. And so for sure, they'll probably come back to the table if they can't keep advancing. And they're already running out of some of their missile supplies and other things. So congratulations to our brothers in Ukraine. Our hearts and prayers have been out to you. We're going to talk about that some more. And we're going to talk about the greater crypto market and what it's looking like. Now, everything like what is going on in crypto? Well, Bitcoin is up, but why has it been down? Isn't that the bigger question? And why is every altcoin down by 60 to 98%? You may be asking, why is my portfolio in crypto way down in the dumps? I thought I was buying at lows. Like every market, crypto does run in cycles, and the cycles, particularly in crypto, are brutal and then absolutely life-changing. So what's hard is buying when things are down is you don't often know where the bottom is, and then it goes down even more, and then it goes down even more, and everything in crypto is way, way down. And notice that some are asking, is it time to just get out? Well, 100%. I want to get into that because I love it when I hear lots of people asking that, and I'll tell you exactly why. But before we do, today's thumbnail talked about the war on crypto, and there is a war on crypto being waged. And I want to show you some articles. Now, there is a trick as old as time used by those in power to keep freedom in check and maintain the status quo. They don't tell you the real reason why they want to ban something. They tell you a reason that they can possibly sell you on. With that in mind, let's look at the headlines in some of these articles. There we go. Let me share my screen. Perfect. Let's share it big. There we go. Russia may use cryptocurrency to evade sanctions, potentially avoiding enforcement actions by banking system and the use of the US dollar. Oh my gosh, this horrible thing called cryptocurrency that's used for money laundering is now being used by Russia to escape sanctions. Realistically, no. The amount of money that they would need to use in order to use cryptocurrency to evade sanctions, they don't have near enough cryptocurrency to make that functional. But that is the narrative that's being spun. Do you remember just 9 months ago, there was a war being waged of words, and they were trying a different argument to see how much traction they could get? Who remembers what that argument was in the audience? Do you remember what the war against Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, what narrative was being used to attack it, right? Well, crypto is bad for the environment. Do you remember that one? It is true that Bitcoin and ETH use a lot of energy. With ETH, that will change actually shortly. But what is interesting about that comparison? Well, how much energy is used by all the banks around the world and the current financial system? Fair to say that that would vastly exceed the amount of energy used by Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So they don't want to compare apples to apples because they didn't bring that up in almost all of the articles. They just want a one-sided argument, don't they? Now, any news organization running stories on that without covering the flip side, showing the energy usage on the current system, well, they're trying to persuade you of something by selectively sharing only some of the facts to then get people to emotionally buy into an argument. Because once they can get you to emotionally buy into the argument that Bitcoin is bad, you will dismiss facts and other arguments for a long, long time because they got you to buy in emotionally. They did get some traction with that, getting many celebrities to buy into it, but they didn't do very well persuading the majority of us at all. So there's a new story emerging on how bad empires like Russia and also, what's the other one? Iran can use this to avoid sanctions. There will be many news organizations who take this story and run with it because the interests they work for are against the financial innovation cryptocurrency brings, where we have true sovereignty over our own money and store of value, and that it can't be diluted by our government printing more money. There are many people who benefit greatly under that old system, and they won't want that system to be changed. So watch for the war of words, because if they can get enough traction, it will turn into legislation. So it is important you educate as many people as possible as why cryptocurrency has so many superior features to fiat, and how governments and the entrenched corruption do not mind governments inflating away much of the value of your savings accounts. The poor are hurt the most by inflation, and inflation has devastating effects on the poor, even the poor that are willing to work super hard as they try to escape the poverty they were born into. And that is one of the reasons why I hate inflation so much. I want a world where you can be born into any economic status, which mostly has to do with the choices of your parents and their parents. But then through determination and hard work, you can rise to any economic status. That is a world that crypto embraces much more than the fiat systems and the many glass ceilings in much of the world today. Now, with that said, keep an eye on that war of words, because these stories are being planted to get many people to emotionally buy into this, so that then legislation against crypto can come out without much opposition. And this war is kind of like, have you ever noticed when a shark, before it attacks, it circles for a little bit and then it comes in and bumps you? It's trying to gauge the threat level there. And if it bumps you and you act scared and like try to run away, well, then it comes back in to eat you. That's much of how the war of words works. I don't know about any of you. Any of you have bullies when you were growing up, maybe in, the early school years or whatever? Fair to say they usually kind of battled you and bullied you with words first, and then came the actions. That's a lot of what's happening. And so this is kind of a test bed as they use these war of words. First, trying to persuade us all that cryptocurrency is bad because it's terrible for the environment without giving adequate comparisons to what the current financial system uses in electricity and other resources. Now they're trying to persuade us that it's terrible because Russia uses it. Oh my gosh, and they're going to use it to evade sanctions. To some degree, they'll probably have a little bit of traction. But why are they attacking with that narrative? Because if they can get enough people to buy into it, they can come out with really harsh legislation against cryptocurrency, and they'll have already won the battle and they won't get much resistance. So don't let them win. Now, if you follow my channel for a while, you know that I frequently use, well, let's go ahead and move on to why I'm so bullish on the market. It is simple as to why I'm bullish on the market, and the reasons are a little bit complex all at the same time. In my channel, I frequently use as a sell signal that helps me sell the tops that I notice when many crypto channels are all talking about a coin that has pumped tremendously and saying how bullish they are on it. Recently, you could see like 3 months ago, Luna was being talked about by every channel as Luna crested $100, then $120. And I called out, I'm very concerned about the price of Luna. Might be a great sell signal. Then what happened? It retraced massively, right? Well, I wish it was as simple as watching those same channels to see when they were talking about or talking crap on a coin as a great buy signal. But it doesn't work that way. It only works on the other side because you get a lot of viewers when you talk about what's pumped a lot, because then people are hungry for information on that. But on the flip side, that signal doesn't work at all. But having been in the crypto market now for 4.5 years, but also having had 20 years investment experience prior, it is feeling like there is a real pattern as simple as a simple go-to as a buy signal. And that is when the last of the short termers in the crypto market are asking to get out of the crypto market and asking if it's time to get out. Now, remember that old saying, the market takes the most amount of money from the most amount of people. Now, how could it take people's money unless they're convinced to sell at lows? But how is it that they're convinced to sell at lows? Well, let's look at the Bitcoin chart and then at some of the altcoin charts that have been savaged and see if we can piece this together. So give me just a second and I'll share my screen. All right, so this is one of my favorite coins, the Brave New Liquid Coin Index, because there's so much history on it. But I did put in these for some narratives that I've used for a while, this chart. And when we hit these big lows, that's when a lot of people finally capitulated and exited the market. You see this low here. You see this big one here. Now, this was all in the crypto winter. We did have this weird pump in the middle of crypto winter. But that's not when people were exiting. Actually, tons of people were coming in and buying because the price was going up. This is when they were exiting. This is when they were panic selling out. And this is when a lot of people were saying, oh my gosh, is it just finally time to give up on crypto? I'm done. I'm exhausted. I'm done. And isn't that what you're hearing by some of the people? I mean, just tune in to some of the cryptocurrencies Telegram channels that we followed, and you will see that type of stuff. Complete and utter frustration, shouting at the devs, trying to get them to do things to make the price turn around. And that's usually a sign of complete exasperation and desperation. And do you know what? That complete exasperation and desperation, having been through many of these cycles before, is usually what I see right at the very bottom. So looking at some of these other charts, I mean, look at where this chart shows Bitcoin a little bit more closely. So let's look at this. So it came down here, right? And so what happens is when it goes up, a lot of people buy and they take this ride down. And then what happens is when it bounces off this low, they finally are like, okay, this is my chance to exit. It's up a little bit, and then they exit. It drives it down one more time like this. But notice this low is a little bit higher than this low. We may have hit the bottom, especially if Ukraine goes terrible for Russia. One of the big things that I'm concerned about is if it goes super well for Russia, that China then takes that as a go signal with their expansion ideals. I hope that isn't the case. If it goes really poorly for Russia, maybe that puts China in the seat of, we're not going to move forward with our expansion. Because if they did, we might see the crypto market get savaged again. So there's two reasons I'm hoping for that not to happen. Number one, Taiwan is a great country, free and independent. They've loved their freedom. I don't want to see them be under the rule of the CCP again. And number two, like just what it will do to the cryptocurrency market. It'll might drive lower lows than what we've been experiencing. Even still, I'm still bullish that the market has not hit its top and not even close yet. Look at some of these altcoins that we've been following on this channel and look where they've been versus where they are. So way back in the 20th of August, Spores Network, which we've had the team on and discussed Spores and their vision and what's going on before, it was at 10 cents and now it's trading at 0.3 cents. Do you realize that's like a 97% pullback? 97%. That is crazy. I don't know about you. I like to buy at lows, and I've continued dollar cost averaging into Spores, including making some trades recently. Now, in our private Discord channel for the gold members, I do post my trades as I make buys or sells. I post them in there. I'm going to share with you today a lot of what I've been picking up. EOS Network. Now, unfortunately, they had this big pump here, and I was like, crap, I missed the opportunity to get more in, but the market was good to us. And the price came right back down. In fact, it came down below what it is here. And what I like about these projects is that they came out and were tradable way back in the pump that we had of March of last year, where a number of things went absolutely crazy. They've been then vesting their tokens, which has put sell pressure on it this whole way down during this pullback, and it has brought prices to these extreme lows. So we're seeing here that it was at 220. It was above that even before that, and I don't remember what it was. And so this is at least on like a 94% sale. I think that sale is even greater from its previous highs. This is showing the previous all-time highs at 265. That would put it at almost a 95% sale. Love it. Drife, we've talked about a number of times. In fact, our Telegram channel, we frequently talk about Drife. You can join our Telegram for free below presently. And so that link is below. And in there, a lot of our audience communicates about what they're liking, and they keep track on a lot of these and how they're doing. Well, Drife did have this big pump here all the way to 10 cents and now is back under a penny. In fact, from this pump alone, it's retraced tremendously. But look at where it was here. Its previous high was 24 cents. It is retraced 98.7 cents. Now, what is Drife? Drife is a competitor to Uber using cryptocurrency and blockchain in order to, I guess, help drivers make more on the rides that they give while making the fares even less for passengers. And they have been going gangbusters in India and several other countries and continue to grow. Now, they're a long way from being massively successful like Uber. And it's early days, but these prices, I just couldn't resist picking up some more Drife these last couple of days because of this. I mean, oh my gosh, if it just went back to 24 cents, do you realize that's not a one base hit or a two base hit? If it just went back to 10 cents, that in itself is a home run. Another one that I couldn't help myself but buy some more a couple of days ago. Now, I have been dollar cost averaging in this since it went down. And unfortunately for me, when it went down to like $7 after having bought before it went to $14, I bought some of this and then it came cheaper and it came cheaper. And this frequently happens in the cryptocurrency market. But look how much this is leveling out. And I like that. And I bought some more Solend. Now, one of the things I like about Solend is it's DeFi on Solana. It's also backed by Coinbase and by Sam Bankman-Fried, I believe, through Alameda Research. So I like the backers. Coinbase Ventures tends to make sure over time that their projects that they back do very, very well. Now, one more that I made some more pickups on after looking at how savage the chart was, I had to. And I've talked about this one a number of times. Solbank. Now, this is a very high-risk project, and I rolled some more into this. Now, Solbank allows you to have a wallet. Now, just for your awareness, the team behind it has been like absent on Telegram the last 3 weeks, and many people have been panicking that they're gone, and they could be. It could be that we'll never see them again. Now, many months ago, I invested $30,000 in this project, and my holdings in them have been absolutely savaged. And that's part of investing. But when it comes down to these lows, I do like what they're working on, and that is a privacy wallet on the Solana ecosystem that will also bridge from Monero so that people that are using the largest and best known privacy coin in the history of cryptocurrency, Monero, can bridge funds in and out of the Solana blockchain. So they can bridge from Monero over to Solana into the Solbank wallet. Now, hopefully, the team is still working on this. I've seen many times in the past that teams kind of go quiet because they're tired of dealing with the toxicity of many people who get frustrated when the market is down and then things come back to life. In fact, I remember when that happened with a small project called Phantom. Yes, the Phantom that's gone absolutely nutso and berserk the last 4 months. That Phantom. I remember a year and a half ago when they really slowed their communication and other things because there was nothing but FUD and when is this going to happen and why are you taking so long and just all kinds of questions that many new crypto investors pepper the project, slowing them down, frustrating them while they're just working because many of these things take time. So could Solbank be gone? They absolutely could be. Did I just buy some more? Yeah. I'm crazy like that. I take those kind of risks because those are the ones I like. Because yes, what I put in there could absolutely go to zero. It could at the same time go 100x, 500x, 1000x. And that's why I took that bet. Now, what's interesting is we look at what's happening with Luna. The long-term prospects for DeFi are solid. And because Luna's UST just got stabilized, people are creating more UST through burning Luna, and it is creating a supply crisis on Luna. And it is possible the gains in Luna not only continue, but spread to the rest of the market. Now, remember when I was telling you, everyone was talking about Luna, and that was a good exit sell signal. In fact, it went higher than it's showing here, but that was a good exit sell signal. It came all the way back to here, especially as there were concerns that Anchor Protocol might fail to continue to pay out the returns that it has been paying out. Well, that got stabilized and new investment was capitalized on that so that they could continue for a couple more years to pay those kind of payouts. And Luna has taken off as in order to get the stablecoin to UST, you have to burn Luna to UST. And as you burn Luna to UST, that creates supply crisis on Luna. And so that people who want to buy Luna have to bid higher and higher amounts to get somebody willing to sell it. And Luna has been taking off. Now, DeFi or decentralized finance has strongly been out of the crypto narrative for a long time now. And it is time for its day in the sun. And I think what is happening in Luna is possibly that catalyst that we've been looking for. It is really an exciting time in crypto in general. Now, why is it so exciting? Oh my gosh, it sucks. This is horrible. Because price action is so very boring across most of crypto. Everything is vastly down from last March, and some things that pumped in October and November after Facebook's big metaverse announcement. Well, it is all on sale, which creates the second most exciting time in crypto. Now, the first most exciting time in crypto is When you load it up during the second most exciting time of crypto, in other words, prices being so boring like they are now, and then they go to all-time highs. In truth, in fairness, that is the most exciting time when they go to all-time highs. But the second most exciting time is when prices are so devastatingly low and everything is so cheap. Now, if you look around, 19 out of 20 people who were here every day in crypto during the all-time highs have left. What does that tell us? Exciting times ahead, and the massive gains that follow go to those who are tenacious, who don't give up, who buy low, refuse to sell lower, and then sell at record highs. And that is exactly what I'm patient enough for. I do want to check out what's going on in chat. Thank you, everyone, for joining us in our live stream. Let's see. Chris Ashby says, happy Monday. What's up, Rainmakers? Let's go, Rainmakers. Nice pump today from Dougie Collins, Bearish Bull. What's up, Chris and fellow Rainmakers? I love the community that we're developing here and that everyone's getting to know each other. Randy Crypto Savage says, hi, everyone. Jerry Squire, thank you for reminding everyone to hit that like button. Ukraine is holding up well, says Johnny McGovern. 9, one of our fantastic admins, says, what's up, fam? All right, got back to nature. Happy about my Spores bag. Yeah, congratulations. I had to pick up more of that. It's just so criminally underpriced, in my own opinion. I loved it. And let's take a moment to thank our strategic partner, OneChain. If you are unfamiliar with OneChain, they are the leader in secure cross-chain trustless bridges. I use their blockchain every day for farming on Zookeeper and have made some investments in the NFTs on OpenZoo.io, which is the NFT marketplace on OneChain, where their fees are so incredibly low. Now, OneChain tends to run when DeFi runs, and the previous all-time highs from the last bull run were almost at $10. The current market price is fluctuating between 30 and 40 cents, and thanks to the strategic partnership with them, we are able to give away 125 OneChain per week to a lucky winner. Now, that means right now it's worth about $45, but when the market takes its run, it's going to be much, much more valuable. So we thank them. I've been a huge fan of OneChain since they launched. I did load up on it during the crypto winter. It is, even with the big retracement it's had, still a lot more expensive than it was when it hit its lows during the crypto winter, but it has pulled back tremendously, which is exciting because I think this is one that's truly going to run because they have some of the best trustless bridge technology connecting the different chains and can continue to make bridges to the other massive chains. Now, let's take a second to jump into the news. We've been talking a lot about Russia. They may use cryptocurrency to evade sanctions. This comes from Investopedia. The New York Post says how Russia can use cryptocurrency to avoid U.S. sanctions over Ukraine. Oh my gosh, that cryptocurrency must be a terrible thing. What's interesting, though, I like this article by Forbes. They did a fantastic job kind of explaining Russia may use cryptocurrency to try and evade sanctions, but here's why it will be hard. As governments around the world release an onslaught of measures to punish Russia for its invasion of Ukraine, a growing number of experts warn Russia will almost certainly turn to cryptocurrency to help evade sanctions, though it could prove only minimally successful. When countries come under heavy sanctions, they get desperate, blah, blah, blah. Through crypto exchange in the US, Europe, and Asia, though crypto exchange in the US, Europe, and Asia will likely stop nearly all dealings with Russia, Carlyle says there are still some exchanges that are complicit in facilitating illicit activities, such as Suex and Chadex services sanctioned by the US last year after facilitating more than 350 million in crypto transactions for Russian-based criminals. Now, what it does go through here and explain is that, yes, Russia has been gathering cryptocurrency, but at most they estimate they have $1 billion worth of cryptocurrency, and they need far more to really be able to evade sanctions. And what most of these articles don't share with you that this one does is that it's not so easy to evade sanctions using cryptocurrency because Bitcoin is very, very trackable. you notice that they caught the hackers from like 3.5 years ago that stole billions of dollars in Bitcoin, and they were able to follow the Bitcoin and then follow the IP addresses used with that trading and using those accounts with Bitcoin. And it led them right to the home of those hackers and arrested them. So funny is a lot of these ones saying that cryptocurrency will be used, they don't bring that up, that it's actually much harder to do. And that's just a story that's often brought out and trotted out to get people emotionally bought in against cryptocurrency. Now, why would they do that? Cryptocurrency is so good for the poor, and isn't that who all these politicians say that they're for? Yeah, maybe they're not really, and they just sell that. All right, let's take a look at what other news we have. Here is the positive uses of cryptocurrency.
Yeah, this is what I was waiting for finally, Jay. It's like every single article is like, oh, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. But this is, to me, like the one that should be obvious, right? The stuff that.
So why is this not leading on CNN? Why is it
Right.
not leading on, New York Times and everything, right? The BBC. Oh, because they're actually trying to tell people cryptocurrency is bad, but cryptocurrency is amazing. People are using it in Ukraine for a lot of good things because it can give them instant liquidity. Even though they're probably worried that the fiat currency in Ukraine might devalue to zero, people are making trades in crypto because they know even if that happens, the cryptocurrency will still hold its value. You were sharing with me before we started this article you were reading about a reporter kind of getting stuck there, right?
Right. Yeah. They were. I can't remember if they're from somewhere in Europe, but they used they used Bitcoin to buy a car to get out of Ukraine, and what it said is like back in 20 years ago, the standard would have been gold, right? In any type of a conflict zone. But Bitcoin is really, or crypto in general, has made it super easy for people to use to transact with each other and know that that this is going to have value, because really they don't know what the value of their fiat currency is going to be in a month or in a week or in a few days.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? It enables like the true, like for true ownership of a store of value that you own it, right? And if you have to go through a checkpoint, right? Guards can always search for gold. They have advanced detectors that can detect gold in your vehicle or on your person if you're trying to hide it, but they'll have no idea if in your phone you have access to it. And even if they make you unlock your phone, them knowing how to like find it and put in the password and everything, and even knowing if there's anything there, it just makes it so much harder for, say, checkpoints and other things to confiscate your store of value. They might be able to confiscate the fiat in your wallet, but they can't confiscate your crypto. And that's the positive side of cryptocurrency. And the reason this isn't leading from all those major news sources is because they don't want it to lead. They're trying to sell you on other things, on other narratives, because they don't want to focus on this. Now, so far, around 10 million in crypto donations sent to the Ukrainian government has already been spent, and they are using this. And it's kind of like the world is crowdfunding Ukraine, the citizens of the world, which I love. A lot of people really they don't talk about the generosity of so many people around the world. They often talk about, oh, such and such government gave this much, but look at this, 10 million in crypto donations sent to Ukraine from both private and like people, and also some businesses sent. Did you read that Binance, they sent how much to Ukraine? It was
Yeah, I was
over
just well, they gave FTX gave $25 to every Ukrainian that was on the platform. SBF was just like, here, and I mean that's not like huge money, but like,
that's
I
food
mean
money.
that's
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, and it's a lot of money. It's generous, and and it's enough to get a few meals and that sort of a thing. So, so yeah, cheers to those guys.
Yeah, that's amazing. So Binance and FTX, we salute you for that. That's awesome. It's really rolling out like some of the uses of cryptocurrency, the true uses, right? So yeah, with any technology advancement, usually the criminals first adopt it. That happened with the internet, and I'm old enough to remember all the stories about how the internet is used for sex trafficking and drug people and blah blah blah, right? And internet is bad. Don't use the internet. Well, everybody uses the internet today, and probably it's still used for some sources of bad, but 99.9% of them are good and above board, right? Let's take a look at this. Is an interesting thing and definitely worth discussing. I'm curious to see what everyone in the audience thinks too. So Gabe Newell tries to explain, it says explains, but I'm going to say tries to explain Steam's choice to ban games with NFTs and cryptocurrency. It revolves around the volatility and fraudulent behavior that can happen. Okay, so remember how I said there's usually the real reason and then the reason they try to sell you on? So what's possibly the real reason they don't want to adopt it, right? If you've ever used Steam, you know that right now your money is trapped on Steam. So if you put money in from fiat into the Steam ecosystem, what's cool is you can sell some of your items in the Steam ecosystem. One of the games that I like to play is Dota 2, and it's run through Steam. And so on the Steam marketplace, you can make purchases and sales. But guess what you can't do? You can't extract that money. So Steam has what's called a trapped system, meaning money comes in, it never has to go out. It's trapped in the system, which they love. So what they're trying to do is use their clout and how big they are to fight against this new technology, which creates an open system. So they don't want an open system. They want to continue to benefit from this kind of monopoly that they have on those funds instead of embracing the new technology. In the audience, what would you say is going to happen to Steam in the coming 10 years? Are they going to be anywhere near as powerful as they are? Fair to say that they're going to have to adopt this technology, but because of their stance that they're taking and the direction that they're going and still sticking behind this stupid ban, fair to say that projects like Ultra are going to come in and crush them over time, because Ultra will allow games to launch on their platform and use NFTs and cryptocurrency, as well as games that don't. So over time, why would anybody list on Steam as Ultra becomes bigger and bigger, right? Especially as more and more games use NFTs and some form of cryptocurrency. Now, before they weren't super enforcing this, and then all of a sudden they are. And so some games that have been building, they then have gone and banned, like Age of Rust, right? A few minutes ago, we were notified that Steam will be kicking all blockchain games off the platform, including Age of Rust, because NFTs have value. Behind the scenes, we've had good communications, and we have been very upfront with Steam. So they're feeling very frustrated. They're kicking Age of Rust off, and I think they think that they're going to stop this trend from happening, and I don't think they really get it. Do you?
Yeah, a couple good comments coming in. Like, I love Bearish Bull. He says, talk about excluding yourself from innovating technology. They will become the Hollywood videos and blockbusters of gaming, in my opinion, 10 to 20 years. That's a really, really good point. For those of you in the audience who are a little bit younger, Blockbuster Video was this giant corporation. I'm sure everybody knows what it is, really, but they just got totally destroyed by Netflix. And and they tried, but it was way too late. They tried to go digital, they tried to go streaming, but it was too late. And Netflix had way too big of a hold of the market share. And now there's one more Blockbuster, or there's one Blockbuster left, right? And I think that the only reason that they're still around is because it's like a museum more than anything, like somewhere in the Northwest of the United States or something. But yeah, really good point. And yeah, Chris Ashby says they're going to get steamrolled. I gotta do it. The Fozzie Bear waka waka waka. That's awesome.
Yes, I love it. And what's funny is they probably think that they're on the cutting edge of technology, and they're kind of like getting hit with this thing that they don't understand. And their knee-jerk reaction is, oh, let's just block it or ban it because it's used for fraud. Yeah, in some cases it is. We see rug pulls on NFT projects too, right? That's why vetting, but don't we see rug pulls on some video game projects too that crowdfund and then disappear? And so they're picking the arguments that fit the line of direction that they want to go, and they just aren't interested in keeping current on the technology and staying on the cutting edge, because they want to coast off the early successes and the early cutting edge technology that they got in, because there's this human desire that once we reach success is just to coast, and that's what they're doing, and they're going to get passed up by Ultra and other companies that come out of seemingly nowhere and all of a sudden take huge market shares from them. Look forward to the day that Dota 2 is on Ultra and Steam, and I'll move everything over. Why? So that I have true ownership of my NFTs. All right.
I gotta share this. One of my very favorite tweets of all time
Yeah.
says in 2005, don't talk to strangers or talk to strangers on the internet. In 2019, we ride with strangers in Ubers, accept from food from strangers with DoorDash, sleep in strangers' houses with Airbnb, and we're best friends with everyone on the internet. Like that's how. Right. I mean, that's the fear that was created around the internet. Like, oh no, if you talk to somebody on the internet, they're going to scam you. They're going to, and I mean, that stuff exists. Right. And it's going to, and it certainly exists within crypto. I mean, it is the Wild West, but like to just pretend like it's all bad and that's the narrative it's totally turning a blind eye to all the positives that exist within the technology.
Yeah, totally. A lot of people, they really have recoil against new technology. And D and I were around when internet really boomed, right? And I remember the news sources, the news anchors saying about, oh, the internet is just a fad and it's going to go away. And now so much of our life is run through the internet. And those brands that made adoption to really harness the power of the internet and people's ability to communicate through the internet have become the richest people. Like the people that led those brands have become the richest people in the world. Crypto is going to bring the first trillionaires, many trillionaires in this market. And I don't know if I have enough steam. I'm not going to probably hit the trillionaires, and I don't care to. But boy, billionaire has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? So I don't know. Quite a ways away for me still, long ways away. But it probably wouldn't normally be possible, but crypto makes it possible, because I'm not willing to own and manage enough real estate to become like a billionaire through real estate. Do you know, with every property comes the headaches of property management. So the number of properties it would take to become a billionaire comes with far too many headaches. I like cryptocurrency much, much better, because you never have to like take a call at midnight to go like snake a toilet, or a flood happening in the house or whatever that you get calls from renters for. With crypto, you never have any of that, and much better returns. All right. Interestingly enough, there's a vending machine in New York City that's selling Solana NFTs. Well, that's cool. And it looks like this is a picture of it here. I'm interested to see like how that works, right? So you can pay with a credit card, no crypto required. But how do you keep track of it, right? Like, does it just store your email address associated with your credit card? That I'm not sure. Or maybe you can scan a barcode with your Solana wallet or put your Solana wallet address in there. It's interesting to try to see these innovations between old technology and new technology with ATMs, right? Because people are used to using ATMs. We'll see if this is successful, but I did find it fascinating that somebody's trying to make a go of this, and we'll see how well it works, right? Because definitely people are used to using ATM technology.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, this is like it's a little gimmicky, right? Like I don't do I really think that there's going to be NFT vending machines like all over the United States and Canada and the world? Like, no, like but it is something to me where it's just another step in the direction of like, hey, this is being adopted, this is getting into the mainstream. Our buddy Chris Ashby said earlier, he said, hey, guess what's happening? Venmo is waiving crypto purchase fees till March 14th. That's just another step toward mainstream adoption. I remember when Venmo announced that they were going to sell crypto on their platform or in their app. That was like what I feel like back in October or August or something like that. And but yeah, it's just another thing that's again showing the mainstream adoption.
Yeah, that is a big deal. Venmo making it easier, right? And Robinhood making it easier for people to buy crypto, because there's a lot of youth that got into trading stocks on Robinhood, and now they can buy and sell crypto. We're looking for the day that the Akomi token is on Robinhood, because that is going to be amazing. That's one of our big favorites on this channel. And if you haven't already found our Wednesday nights Akomi VV live stream, our Wednesday evening, we specifically talk about Akomi and VV only.
Yeah, 7:30 Pacific, right?
Yeah, we did change the time, so it is an hour earlier than it used to be. So 7:30 Pacific time. Now, I wanted to share this article because this is huge. Microsoft Minecraft goes Web3 with NFT worlds on Polygon. And what NFT worlds did was made the world that they were building compatible with the Minecraft servers, or that's what they're doing. And I'm not sure if it's fully put together, but what's interesting is the land that you could buy used to trade at about 3 ETH. And just recently jumped all the way to 13 ETH. Now, this would be the epitome of what I call chasing green candles if you buy at 13 ETH. Often having pumped from 3 ETH to 13 ETH, probably there's going to be a retracement store, but you never know. But with that announcement of them being closer to it than ever, then it is absolutely pumped. And so, like, funny enough, Minecraft has become one of the biggest games in the world, even though the simplicity of it is mind-boggling. I mean, the graphics so low resolution and stuff, yet because of the building nature of it, that people can create things, man, it's gone huge. And so a lot of people have been waiting for really when some kind of Minecraft will be on blockchain, and people obviously putting their money behind this. I mean, so there's 10,000 of these NFTs with 4.6K owners. And the floor price it's in right now is 12.75, although the cheapest I'm seeing right here is 13.2. That's crazy.
And I want like the title of this or the headline is a little bit misleading, because I want people to understand that it's two developers that are unaffiliated with Microsoft, that they have built a blockchain layer on Minecraft. Okay, so this is not. The project is called NFT Worlds, and it's on the Minecraft platform. They built it on Polygon, but the concern with this is that Microsoft has said that they don't allow any type of commercial. Basically, they don't want people to be able to make money by using Minecraft. So these developers have been working hand in hand with some people from Microsoft, and really trying to make sure that they're doing everything correctly, and that they're not going to get banned or shut down or whatever. But that is a concern, right? And it is playable. I think they said that over a 3-day period, they had like 26,000 hours played within this, and they've done some things where the market has been tested. Like there's a little video on their Twitter of somebody buying an apple using their currency, which is called World, WRLD. So they were able to execute a transaction, buy an apple from the market. The apple showed up in the Minecraft avatar's hand. They threw the apple, they picked it back up. So like, I mean, they're ready to do some of this stuff, but it's going to be really interesting to see if Microsoft pulls the plug on it, or if Microsoft ends up, kind of going all in. Microsoft just purchased Activision Blizzard. When was that? That was like a month ago, Jay.
Yeah, huge news for crazy amounts of money.
Right, and that was a big sign of it. I can't remember how they termed it, but it was basically like, they wanted to purchase this to kind of get into blockchain gaming. And so this, I could see something where they're like, oh man, this NFT Worlds project is killing it. They're using our platform. Let's just go ahead and buy it, and we'll roll the system into Minecraft. And now we have NFTs within Minecraft and digital land and all that. Or on the flip side, I could see them going, you're not supposed to do this, pull the plug, and then like
recreate exactly.
Recreate it like
it is
like
Microsoft,
a month later.
right? They have a history of that exact same thing. Oh, that's fantastic innovation. By the way, blocked because that's against our terms of service, but we're going to do that because we can make money on Minecraft. Yeah. And we're just straight up going to copy your code and then innovate on top of it. So there's that risk, right? So would I FOMO into this land? No way. Would I have bought it when it was super cheap if I had been super aware of it? Yeah, before it was 3 ETH, it's just too much risk of Microsoft holding a power on it that I wouldn't have even paid 3 ETH for it. No way. And obviously that was profitable if they bought it 3 ETH and now they can sell it for like 13 ETH or something. But it looks like I just refreshed and it is on its way down. It's saying that the floor is now 11.58. So that's why, these really big pumps are usually then met with a retracement. Yep, right there. So look at it falling. It was 13 ETH earlier today and all the way down to 11.57.
That's crazy.
And so these are speculative. I've made crazy amounts of money from NFT lands in crypto, specifically Axie Infinity. I made ridiculously amazing money. And and I'm heavily invested in many land projects, as many solid ones as I can find at low prices. We did have a question from Andy M, but I'm not quite clear on what he's talking about. He says, hey guys, I want to hear your take on what the real use case is for these NFTs currently, but I don't know what he means by these NFTs, right?
Yeah, so, is he talking about the NFT Worlds Minecraft thing? So if you can clarify, Andy, before we jump off of that, the one thing that another thing I wanted to kind of talk about is so Minecraft has 141 million monthly active users as of last year in 2021. So like you're talking about like a way to really ramp up the adoption of cryptocurrency. It's getting 141 million users to just like that. Now all of a sudden they're used to playing this game and now they're playing to earn. Like that would be enormous, right?
Yeah. So Andy clarified NFTs in general, I guess, but I like to be really, really specific, right? What is the value of NFTs? Well, there's so many different types of NFTs. There's profile pick NFTs, and really the value of that is the clout that it brings. If it's one that's pumped really well in the Bored Apes Yacht Club, you also get access to their Discord server, which is pretty exclusive, and you're in there with some really smart, savvy business people. So that has a value itself. Land NFTs, well, it depends on the game and the metaverse that it's involved with, right? If that metaverse does well, then that land has serious value, either for advertising usage or putting a game within the game on that land. And so it depends on the NFT. Many NFTs are going to be worthless during the coming crypto winter. And even those that aren't worthless, many of them will lose a lot of their value as crypto, I think, will overboom, which is what we're waiting for. And then it will overbust. And during that overbust period is a great buy time. It's not very fun holding from the overboom period to the overbust. Trust me on that. Having held pretty much everything from 2017 through the following crypto winter, I saw massive retracements. And I saw some things that I was in lose 100% of their value. And some that I was happy with because I only lost 99% of their value, but they didn't go to zero.
With talking about NFTs in a game like such as Minecraft, like I haven't spent it. My kids play Minecraft, so I understand a little bit about it. And so if let's say that like in order to mine some diamonds, like it ends up taking, I would guess, like maybe 1 to 3 hours to find some diamonds in Minecraft, right? You got to go down into the freaking cavern or whatever they call it, the mine. You got to mine a whole bunch, and then you've got to like luck out that you see like the little ore. You got to mine it carefully. It's usually like close to the lava, and you might like mine it, and then like it falls in the lava or whatever. So like, and then I don't know how many diamonds you need to make a diamond pickaxe in Minecraft, but like let's just say that it's like 5 or 9 diamonds. Maybe somebody in the chat knows, but like if I can do that, or let's say that my kid does that, right? And he has a diamond pickaxe that he just crafted in Minecraft and he puts it on the market. Well, if there's somebody who doesn't want to spend an hour to 3 hours mining all the diamonds and crafting that tool, then would they be willing to spend $10 for that tool? They might, I would say probably if they really, really love the game and they just don't want to spend their time looking for the diamonds, then they might do something like that. So that's where in-game NFTs have value, and like the love potions that exist in Axie Infinity, right, Jay? Like that, is that what it is, where people sell those? It's like digital farming that exists in the Philippines, where they're just making these NFTs so that they can sell them on the open market.
It was a proof of concept that showed like play to earn can work, but they only had one sync mechanism for what you could earn in the game through playing. So if you win, you get more smooth love potion than if you lose. And so then you're getting this smooth love potion that can be exported to the Ethereum blockchain. It's run on the Ronin blockchain, which is Axie Infinity's own blockchain that they developed, kind of like a side chain. So you earn smooth love potion for playing. Well, the only sync for smooth love potion is breeding Axies. Well, breeding Axies becomes very, very valuable when you have a massive influx of players. But then when you're not having a massive influx of players and there becomes a glut of Axies that have been bred, well, that's the only sync that they have for it. And so the game right now is trying to figure out better ways to like more depth to the game, because there's truthfully not a whole lot of depth to the game. I did make a ton of money speculating on their land when their land came out, and I think it was like January of 2019. And I purchased probably about $4,000 worth, that if I held all of that to their peak that they had, that would have been 5 million. I did harvest about 400,000 plus out of that after about 2 years. I mean, really not bad returns, right? That's the golden 100x that every one of us is looking for. Made that on speculating on land on a new video game that was coming out. And it won't be the only one that 100x's, but Axie Infinity has been one of the ones that really kind of led the charge for blockchain gaming. Let me take a look. We're just about out of time. I want to share this article real quick. So if you're interested in helping out our brothers in Ukraine, you go to their actual Twitter, and that's literally at Ukraine, and you can find their blue check mark here, right? And so they give their BTC address and their ETH address right there. So if you are interested, don't get scammed. Those are likely their actual addresses right there. So you'd be doing humankind solid there. Not a big fan of dictators who try to take over other countries for some reason. So, yeah, it gets in the way of helping everyone achieve their full potential, right? So, now, if you're in the audience, are you ready to be a rainmaker and join the Navy SEALs of crypto in order to level up your crypto game? I take a very contrarian approach, and I know this contrarian approach, coupled with fundamental analysis, and you add in a lot of patience, it works very, very well over time. If you haven't already, consider that all notifications bell, and then just tune in when you see our videos pop up. We do a live stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific, and now also an additional VV live stream Wednesday evenings at 8:30 p.m. Pacific. And then we have shorter videos that launch throughout the week. I'm going to be interviewing FODA, Fight of the Ages, this week, and we will air that sometime this week on one of those extra videos that comes out. They are one of the hottest blockchain games, competing with League of Legends and Dota 2 in that multiplayer online battle arena field, but being crypto friendly. So, a lot of people are very hot on this project for being a very big game. Thank you so much for joining you.
Jay, yeah. I just want to clarify, 7:30 Pacific. I think you said 8:30 Pacific.
Yeah, let me update my notes. It is 7:30 now. It used to be 8:30. Cool. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. And remember, no rain, no gain.
Came into the space, chasing all of the games, chasing the pumps and all of the hype trains. But like in life, shit, right before you could. Was told to buy when it was pouring like a rainmaker should. Buy when it's down, don't chase the post that I miss. Cause I always make the time in mind. I sit the one out cause I'm patient like that. And I'll wait for the right time. I'll sell when it's high, I'll buy when it's low. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm just a rainmaker running the show. Calculated investments, I don't lead with my heart. Principles are simple, believe in a lot. Buy when it's boring, just gotta be smart. I sell when it's hype like all the channels they pump it. That's when I was selling the parabolic and dump it. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Made the time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love, and I follow what I learn.